there's a surrounding community. And I want to see. I want to be in the moment. I want to be present, but I want to be here.
You here.
Thank you, Ernie.
You here.
I'm here. Okay.
I grew up in St. Louis. Ferguson is like LA is to Inglewood.
Right.
You know, it's a matter of streets. And so it's not like this, you know, suburb way in the boonies somewhere. My first job in high school was in Ferguson at McDonald's. I used to ride, I tell you what, we lived this close. I used to ride my bike to work. In fact, when we were younger, we would drive around Jennings. Instead of direct line, we would drive around Jennings just to avoid interacting with the cops. My mother, over the summertime, my nieces and nephews from Alabama came up. Cops stopped my mom. And she said he never really told her why.
You know, this could be, you could have just dropped me down in South LA.
Same thing.
Right after the uprising.
Same thing. A lot of these businesses, they were threatened that if they didn't like pay somebody to board up their windows with the wood and all that stuff, that their insurance payments would not. See, this is their insurance payments would not be honored if their place got damaged. So now they're gonna make you pay to put the stuff up. Oppression is a motherfucker. I was tired of listening to all the stories on the so-called news, the looters and this, da-da-da-da. I said, you know what? Forget this shit. I'm going up here. Somebody gonna hear my story. And I drove up here, parked, and just walked around. The first person I talked to was this man from the Associated Press. I said, look, you know, I'm really tired of y'all asking the wrong questions. Everybody's talking about looters and why people turn up their stuff. Nobody's asking the fundamental question of why are people acting out like that? Why are people doing that? Look at the history of Europeans throughout the globe. They've not, you know, come in with open arms. Everywhere they've gone, they've left destruction. Yet we get this, we are made to feel guilty that, you know, if we don't hold hands in prayer and march peacefully.
When America was oppressed during the American Revolution, did they peacefully protest?
No, it ain't gonna happen. That's the hypocrisy that, you know, is just mind-boggling. You know, the audacity.
When they shouted no taxation without representation,
right.
Did they do that peacefully?
When you want to get away
or
from
did they bear arms?
Right. Yet we're expected to do that. When Mike Brown first killed, that's the Quick Trip. It used to be a Quick Trip. That's the one. So that went first, like back in August.
That's interesting the way they have those things tied to the pets. Now, what is that supposed to mean?
Some of them are. I haven't read all of them. Some are like memorials.
It's in Africa, in Ghana, Nigeria, Senegal. When you'll see little strips like that.
Right.
And what that means is that there's an exorcism of evil from something. And that the evil has been plucked from something. And that is the symbol that evil is now being removed. So the analogy for me is, that the evil that has been plaguing this town has been exposed. And that's what the symbol is, that the evil has been removed, but it's been exposed. And so now, you know, you've got this publicly visible sign that the exposure is here. The time has come to now reckon with that evil. And basically it's been the intended outcome, the typical outcome is that there's victory over the evil. So when I saw that, I immediately, you know, the underlying cultural continuities that people aren't even conscious of is just amazing to me.
I'm gonna take you to Mike's memorial. When I went over, I've been over there like 2 or 3 times to the memorial. And one time I was talking to this brother. He said, man, I quit my job because you got to do standing post. Because he said there have been some allegations that cops have been coming up there messing up stuff. He said, man, I had a little poo-butt job. I quit working so I can make sure I'm standing on post. So they alternate. It's hard to describe, sure. You know I like words. But some of the things I've seen and or experienced or people I've talked to, it is hard to describe. And then you can still see the blood stain where in the middle. We can get out if you want.
Yeah,
but we won't be too long.
Yeah, I see the bloodstain.
Yeah, that's every time I come through here, I can everything you
Feel
can
it.
feel.
Yeah. I was asking that his spirit, not his soul, not be wandering, restless, as an atefodeh. Atefodeh in the African tradition in Ghana is a soul that was unjustly assaulted and a life unjustly ended. And when that happens to a soul, that soul can't go to the resting place of the ancestors. That soul wanders, and that soul needs a way to find peace. And so I was calling on Olodumare, on God, on the ancestors, and on all the energies and forces of God to bring peace to our people, to bring justice to our people, to bring healing to our people, and to not let Michael's soul be an apopho, wandering.